Hey guys, Matt here. Today we're going to go over this project Canopy Comms. So we created this little solar node using a flexible 6-volt 2-watt panel. We got a DFR robot MPPT controller inside and some other things that we just put together. So you can see down here. And let me flip that around. We got a nice setup, so all right, let's pull this. So let's get this strung up here.
Come on, MacGyver.
All right, to start this off, I had someone bring up the idea of doing a solar node you can swing up into a tree, and I've thought of that before, and I kind of liked it, so I got started on just tinkering around with the design. So I wanted something different. I know some people have made a few different options. I wanted something a little more unique, I guess. So I scoured the internet and I finally found this flexible 6-volt 2-watt solar panel, and I wanted to utilize that in the build somehow. So it is, and I did test this outside in the sun, even in the shade. It's pushing 6 volts, so it's pretty simple. We're going to clean these off and wire some wires around it. But anyway, so I came up with this. This is going to basically, we're going to glue this on the outside of this container, and then I have some plates that we're going to slide in, and this mounts all your hardware on it. And yeah, so let's just get started with this solar panel. Oh, one thing I wanted to talk about is I couldn't decide what I would want to run for Meshtastic. So basically I made it so it'll support all three of anything I would ever run. So we got the starter kit mini, the starter kit, and then the 1 watt. So if you wanted this as a temporary, so this solar panel is not, I don't know if it'd be able to keep up. It would be able to keep up with this with limited traffic if you just use it for emergencies or something. But yeah, tonight I'm going to use this. So something different. It's the mini, and y'all know I like my wave share, which I do have support in the mounting plates for that. So for this build, I'm actually gonna go, so I had two different options. I had the DFR robot solar, or the solar energy manager, Songrant, and this comes with a battery pack. So the neat thing is the plates I built support all the battery packs from this to this, from the WaveShare battery pack, or just two of these. So I did make it to be able to support however you want to run this. But I ended up, after a lot of research and everything, the DFR robot is going to be the best, most efficient, one of the best. I can't guarantee that for everything out in the world, but for what I want to use it for, it is the most efficient solar charger for that solar panel I have. So it has a solar input, 4.5 to 6 volts, which will be perfect. Yeah, it has your battery in, and we can power. It has 5-volt output up to 1 amp. So I wouldn't run the wizmesh booster on it. I'm just to be sure. It advertises 1 amp output, but if it's a heavy duty cycle, I don't know, it might damage something. But anyway, up to 1 amp output on 5 volts. But if I was going to build this to run a wizmesh booster, I would just use the WaveShare Power Manager. Yeah, so this it can either power this or the mini, the starter kit or the mini kit, and this comes with a little heat sink on it, some standoffs, and that just glues to the back. And we'll go over that, how that connects everything together. But I want to start with getting everything situated first, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I don't know if you can tell, but the ends on here are a little crummy, so we're just going to use a brush. I'll have the link. It's not an affiliate link or anything for this panel. I mean, they're going to be on Amazon eventually, and I did think about ordering a bunch from China, but they're too expensive. So you guys will have to, if you want to build it like this, you'll have to get it off of AliExpress. I think you'll be very happy with this panel. So we're just cleaning that up a little bit. Alright, so that orange stuff must have been a little protective covering on it, I think. So let's see if I can scrape some of it off. I thought it was like rust or something, but it didn't turn out to be that. So that one I got nicely. What about this one? Let's see if we can get something on to stick to that. Let's try this side. Seems to be the cleanest. I hope I don't ruin this thing. How in the heck? Alright, so I edited out my soldering. I had significant problems with that, but apparently I wasn't heating up the pad enough. But we did get 2 good beads on there. They're ugly, but they work. Alright, so what did I get? I got about, I don't know, how long is that? 9 inches, 10 inches of wire. We're just going to strip a little bit off the end. Just a little bit like this. And then we're going to put some solder on the end of that, tin it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get some solder on the end of these. Re-put my tip on. Put it on here. I think that should be good. Using my helping hands, affiliate link in the description. But it makes everything so much easier when soldering. I used to try to cram my wires or lean them against something. So this solar panel comes with a positive on that, so make sure you have that. So we're going to solder this actually straight down, because this is where it's going to go through our case. Or a little, actually we can solder it like this. I made a big hole in it, so we'll hope y'all aren't pulling your hair out. Alright, so we're going to take this case. I just have to be sure. Yeah, we'll put our, it doesn't matter which side. Actually, we'll put our ground in the bottom through here, and our power through here. Just make sure those line in or line up through there. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Alright, well, if you know how to solder well, I'm just gonna make those holes a little bigger. Alright, so we're good. Now that we got these crappily soldered, we're gonna put our ground wire through here. I made the holes a little bigger with a step bit just because I soldered way thicker than I wanted to, but that's the good news about adaptation, or being able to adapt. Alright, so you'll see how that fits together, and once we get that down, this will obviously be sealed up on the inside. But yeah, then we're going to wrap this around here. So I'm going to figure out what glue to use to get this started, and I'll be back. Oh, I am going to be using a couple of these to hold the base down right away, or the front part of the solar panel down. Alright, what I think I'm going to start with is I'm going to use that on there and clear grip just to get everything started. So I'm going to put that around the edges, around here, and we can do it from the inside too. I think this will hold a little better. And I'm also going to put some super glue just to get it to hold right away. I'll put some dabs around here. Alright, let's get these pulled through. Make sure it's lined up with the base. Yeah. So you can see right in there. We're just going to mount this, or keep this flush on the ring around the outside. And I'm going to put one of these here. Yeah, I think that should give me a good base to start. Alright, I'm actually going to use this little piece of filament to press on the entire side, and then I'm going to mount this, or have this squeeze it all together. This is by far the most difficult part of this entire thing. And this is the first time I've put everything together, so some things we gotta brainstorm, work out. Alright, we're almost there. I should have just closed it up before I put it on. There we go. These were my grandpa's. Yeah, that should keep that in there nice. Okay, so we're just going to set that there, and we have other stuff we need to be doing. So I'm going to get, we're going to be mounting this together. So I'll be right back. Alright, so for the top we're going to be using M4. The lid's going to be carrying the weight of all these, so we're using, you can see it a lot better on this, how the grooves work. It's pretty neat. Alright, so let's make sure we get this in right. So 300 degrees again. And we're just going to wiggle it around while it's going down, just so all those grooves fill up. Alright. Fill up with ASA. Liquid ASA. And we're just going to put it a little bit below the surface there. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe a little leaning to the right. So we're just tilt it back a little bit. Yeah, that is sweet. Alright, so I'm going to do that. So again, we're using M4 by 10. So it's 10 millimeters long. And I will keep recording. I'll fast forward the rest of this. I think that looks pretty good. On something that big, I should turn the heat up a little more so it's a little more liquid around it, but I think overall it looks really well. Or I think it's going to do great. So I'm using, on the inside ones where all the plates mount, we are using M4 by 5 or 6, I think. So, and we just want the ones going into the plates to be big and secure. Strong, I mean. Actually, let me try turning the temperature up. I'm going to turn it to 330. Let's see if that helps it go in a little better. You don't want to go too high or everything just melts and then you're done for. This thing uses 80 millimeters of filament just for this part. So you definitely don't want to waste it or ruin it somehow. Why is that one not going in? Alright, let me put these in. I think I can actually, in my final for sale ones, I'm going to drop these down to M3s because I don't think we're going to need M4 because this just holds the plate internally. It's not going to need this big of support for, it won't need this big of support for just holding the internal plates. So yes, the updated version will have M3s on the inside. So I'm going to finish these up. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to lay, let's see if I can get it up a little higher. Yeah, you can see that. So basically, we're going to lay glue I think that should be enough for now. I'm just going to make sure the edges are good. So the other thing, let me seal this up. The other thing I'm going to do is put some super glue on there just to get an immediate hold. We're not relying on this to keep everything together, but I just want an immediate hold while it's drying. Alright, so let's fold this around as I get the camera lens in full of glue. That's lovely. And I measured it to come to completely connect towards this. So I'm just going to make sure it's pushed up. Everything is flush. And we are going to wipe the glue off I had around there. Then we're going to put this on here, this flat piece, and press it down. What do we have that we can use? I know what we can do. I think this will work. Come on, baby. Give me something I know. Give me something I know can work. Is this one big enough? I don't think so. This one, that one will work. This one will work. Perfect. Alright. Let's redo this. We're gonna do, I see gaps in it when I'm sealing it up, so I want to do it a little differently. I just see a gap around the edges. Alright, I'm just gonna make sure these are all flush around. Push it all the way back. Alright. Getting these wires out of the way. I think that is good. So we're going to put these around the top part. Ah, these aren't big enough, are they? Ah, I think they are. Just a couple of squeezes around. I don't want to ruin the part that's on the panel. So we're just going to tighten it a little bit on the bottom. Not too tight. We're going to put one around the top. My wife got these at a garage sale. She thought I could use them sometime. Well, I'll show you what I'm doing. So, and we're going to put one up here. And this is only until everything is dry. And once everything is dry, the panel should be quite solid. Or very well glued. Alright, well I guess that's it for today. Until I don't want to do much more on this until everything is glued on. But I think it's going to work really well. It's coming along better than I thought. So, alright, well I'll see you as soon as this stuff's good to go. Alright, so this is done. I think it looks pretty good, the panel. So I just got done testing this outside in the shade with nothing connected to it. This is going to be one of our problems with this panel and the DFR robot. We're still going to use it and see how it does, but I was pushing 8 volts with this with nothing connected to it. Once we connected our DFR robot, it dropped to manageable 4.28 volts. Oops, 4.28 volts, and that was only in shade. So once it is in full sun, it's going to pull higher, so I'm not worried about the higher voltage. The question is going to be, once the battery is topped off, if it will jump up to 4 or a higher voltage than the safety limit of what I think 6.5 is the maximum you'd want to put on this. Oops, wrong one. So this is rated at 4.5 to 6, and I think the maximum's probably around 6.5. So we can try that. We're still going to use it. I think it's going to be fine. And if it does happen to shoot over that, then we'll switch to something else. But then I'd be back to my wave share. And I was doing some research, and there's a couple other options I could use as well. But we're going to stick with the DFR robot, and I'll do an unboxing of that real quick. All right, so I actually found a deal on these, and I have like 15 of them for other projects. But this is what comes in the box. We have our DFR robot, solar MPPT solar charger manager. So on here, you're going to see our USB in. It's a micro USB, which is disappointing, but I have adapters for that. Then you have your battery in, and then your 3.7 volt JST connector in. You have your solar in, and your boot button. I don't think we're ever going to have to use that. So if you want to turn it on and off, there's some jumpers here. You can run your 5 volt to ground there, and then a USB 5 volt 1 amp out. So I think if we wanted to run the 1 watt booster on this, it would be fine for occasional transmitting, because that pulls 1 amp. But if it's going to be pushing messages non-stop, I'd switch to something else that has a little higher output on it. But for this, we got the battery for this. Let's figure out the rest of this over here, just putting it together. So this is what comes with it. You got your standoffs, little sticky tape for the heatsink. We're going to throw that in. I'm just going to peel. Oh, we're going to peel this layer. Ah. Oh, I drill bit it into my thumb so that nail's held on by super glue. Or drilled into my thumb. Why is this so difficult? Jeepers. Okay. Put that on the back here. Where the pad is. I'm excited to use something other than the wave share. I mean, I love that, but I think for this one we need something a little. Then we're going to attach our heatsink. We need something a little more efficient for this node, since the panel isn't super powerful. Alright, so then we're going to put on these. Oops, on the back side. What do these use? Phillips. Swap our aid. Alright, I can't find one, so I'll just do it this way. It's pretty easy. And I'll do that for the rest, and then I'll fast forward everything. Alright, let's get these switches and everything installed. So we're going to be using an N-type antenna. Let's put that one in the middle. And we will lock that up. I think that goes like this. Our washer. I'm going to grab my wrench. And since there is a gasket on it, I don't think I'm going to seal this. I mean, you can, but if I was going to use it religiously or as my main node, I would definitely put a seal like E6000 around it, or goop, or what did I use last time for our last video? I used, oh, the Gorilla Clear. I like all of them, so it's really up to you. So I did put little icons on the bottom. I changed it around from what this print is, but if you guys are gonna order one of these mounts, it's going to be a little different than this. And I also decided to, these are M4. I also decided to drop down to M3 because that's going to give a little more grip than this. I didn't want it to melt the outside because you can see here it's a little thin. It's fine, but I just feel more comfortable doing an M3 so it's not so close to the edge. So if you guys get one of these, that it's going to be an M3 fit, and you can drill it to M4 if you want. That's really up to you. But so I'll put our breather valve in. Let's see which one that is. This one, I believe. That also has a gasket on it. This one's going to be a little more difficult to get sealed. And the layout of the holes looks a little better on the final version too. So. Ideally, I want this on the top, and I think there is a way to do that. Alright, let's put our USB ports in. And those go from the inside out. So we have this. Put this around it. So one of the reasons I went with this panel is I don't want them on the top because that's going to be the most shaded area, at least in the summer anyway. So I wanted something on around the sides. And ideally you'd want to hang this around the edge of a grove or something like that. So when the sun rises or sets, you get full sun. And then you get more power for it. But if the solar panel is on the top, you never really get full sun any time of the day. So that's why I went with the side one. Also, if it's blowing around, which it will, I feel like the voltage is just going to be more stable for a more stable charge. Oops. Compared to just flat panels, but that's just a little finicky thing. I'm actually making a different design to use straight panels, and solar panels are a little easier to find from Amazon, which is going to work well too. I'll probably use the DFR robot. Actually, yeah, we'll have to see which one I go with. This is primarily, you can use the 1-watt booster all you want, so this is just going to be my efficient node project. Alright, let's just try to get this a little more tight. Keep that from spinning on the outside, because these have gaskets too. Not too tight, but tight enough. Okay. Did I do this? No, I didn't do this one. Let's try that. Yep. Alright, what else do we need? We're missing something. There's two other things that go in here. We're going to be using our Bluetooth. Need our Bluetooth antenna. Let me just make sure. Female. Okay, yep, that'll work. And this is where we're going to use some seal in it. I need another one of those. Which ones? this. All right. Let's pop this in. Okay, let me do, we're gonna put some E6000 around it. Test one, just making sure I'm recording. I don't want to do all this and find out I wasn't recording. Probably should have done that before Oh, we're good. I'll grab a rag here. Hold on a second. Okay, so we're putting the top on. I'll just wait to put everything. That's not going to give me a whole lot of antenna, so I'm going to take this off actually. And we're going to take the blocker off and then re-put the, where'd it go? Oh, it's stuck to my finger. Okay. Ah. Oh, should have done the E6000 afterwards. Alright, let's see. Yeah. I'll fast forward this frustration. Okay. And then our antenna will go. I just want to make sure I get enough shaft on that. But yeah, we're good. Alright, so we'll keep that off because we got to maneuver this thing around. And the other two pieces we're going to use are... Oh, I'm still missing something here. What am I missing? Oh, the switch. Can't believe I forgot about the switch. I'm going to turn my soldering iron on. So, what we're going to do right now, we're just going to tin these and connect some wire. Alright, so we have our, this is where we're at. We got this installed. I had to redesign these a few times. So, right now, we are going to get this soldering iron ready. And I'm going to solder some wires to this switch. So my old designs didn't have enough room for the cables to go up the wall, so or up the side of the case. So that's what I did or added some more channels for it. Yeah, so let's get some heat inserts for that. I'll turn that on. We can put that battery tray in. While everything is warming up, put the battery tray in, and then we'll get things ready for the other stuff. Alright, we'll put this battery tray in just like this. Let's see if that's the, use this one. That in through here. That. And then we will put a nut on the back side. And this is designed to hold, or it's already pre-configured for numerous different battery trays, but you can just drill whatever you want in there. So we'll tighten that up. Let's get the heat sets. We're gonna do all M3x4 inserts. Whoop, drop that. Alright, let's put that one in here. So, alright, I have it set to 320 degrees. Oh, that looks pretty good. So, might just have to sand a little bit of the ooze out on the top side. Yep. So, just nice and slow, not too hot, or it's gonna melt everywhere, but you can rock it back and forth to make sure all the grooves are filled with ASA. Alright, that one's done. Let's do this one. And it's just if you were just going to use regular screws, these would be stripped out after. Well, it just wouldn't be strong at all. So that's why I like using the heat inserts. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so one left after this, and then we're done with the heat inserts. I could have made that hole a little bigger, or drill it out so we don't have the little oozing on the top, but that's fine. So if you guys want to drill it out, it just means it's a little stronger. So I'm going to take a sanding block and just get the tops of these, just so it sits right. Looks pretty good. Do the same for this one. That looks pretty good. I'm just gonna take my butane, clean up the outside a little bit. There we go. Alright, so let's figure out, here's my long flat USB cables. I really like these. They're expensive, but they're so much easier to put in tiny places. So I'm going to have the long one be on the one that connects to the rack, so the Meshtastic. So the long one's going to be here. And I'll put that to face the inside of the wall. If I can get it in there. Alright, so, and these are high-speed cables too. And then we'll put the other one just to transfer the power if you have to charge it. Alright. Alright, so when we're going to mount this, I'll show you how these work here. I made a plate so you can mount all of them. You can just put standoffs on either one of these. So if you want to do the booster, you just put standoffs here, and there's holes for all of them. If you want to do just this one, there's holes for all those. And for this one, we're just going to use these right here. So I'm going to grab these, and we're just going to drill those out a little bit, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm going to drill these out with a 3mm. Like I said, in order to get the strongest holes, I made them slightly smaller so we can drill them out. And that will give us the strongest. Alright, so we drilled those out. And now we just put our... We'll do it this way. I just need the 3 on there. And I'll screw those in. 2 more standoffs and 2 more, what are these, 2.5mm, I think. What do I have these at? Yeah, 2.5mm by 4. And I cannot find these standoffs on Amazon. They all come in a kit. So where I found them, I can order 100 at a time from Walmart, walmart.com. So, which is surprising. I can usually find everything on Amazon. But yeah, that's where we are. So we'll screw these in. And we're going to use 2.5 by 2s. Oops, to screw these to the board. And I cannot get a set of magnetic screwdrivers for the life of me. They say they are, but when I get them, they're not. So I might have to splurge on a better set. So this does have the option to put a oops, that's a different size, I think. It's the wrong size. Actually, I should actually do that now. So we're gonna put a environmental sensor on there. Alright, so we actually want a 1906 is what, for some reason I thought it was 1907. And I get everything from either Rockland or Rack Wireless. I have affiliate links for both. Rack Wireless is cheaper if you buy bulk, but I get them from both. So, all right. I was also thinking I actually want to put GPS on this too, which I never usually put GPS on the as nodes. But if this is in a tree and it falls or something, I kind of want to keep track of it. So let's figure out what GPS I want to use. We're going to do I think I have a 12500. I think is going to be the best option for that without having to solder stuff, which I already have one open. So I was actually saving these for another project, but I think I want to use it for this if I'm going to be stringing this up. So let's cut that off. So these are the best, from my understanding, GPS, most efficient and fastest, I think. The 20, what was it exactly? I swear these were the 12500. Let me double check. Yeah, the 12500. So these are what we're going to use in our tactical case too. So yeah. Alright. So let's do that. So, and we can program these to not suck up our energy. So I just wanted to transmit every, I don't know, hour or something. Doesn't have to be all the time. So for our tactical ones, we're going to do every minute or something close to that. So, all right, on the bottom of this, we have 2 slots. We're going to do our environmental sensor in one. Let's get that in there. And these detect temperature, barometer, humidity, gas and air quality. Well, they're very helpful. Temperature is not going to be too accurate because they are inside a case. There's ways to get more accurate readings, and I'm currently working on doing that. You get a probe and bypass it. Bypass the sensor. I'm going to grab a different screwdriver. I'll be right back. Alright, found a magnetic piece that I can put on my screwdriver since these things are so tiny. So all the kits come with these little screws, or at least the ones I link you. I don't know if they sell them without all this stuff other places, but I like to keep all the extra stuff I get in a little container because I'm going to use, I know I'll use it again. So alright, let's get this one on here. Whoops, I messed up. So I can put the long one on this side, I can put the short one on the other side, because you can see I don't use these the mini very often, but it's laid out the same, but you got a spot for one small one and a spot for a big one. And I don't know the technical terms of these. I just call them thingy-majigs and doohickets. So we're going to screw this one in, and we'll mount this one. And I have a bunch of the old, not old, but the ones I first bought were the ones you soldered it to everything, but these are just so much easier. Let me turn on the glue gun quick, actually, so we can... Oh no, I think my son used that for a project. Do I have it back? Where would it be? Where would it be? I thought I grabbed that back. Let me... Alright. Well, I know I had it. Oh, I know where I put it. It's over here. I reorganized everything the other day. Alright, so... we're gonna heat up our glue gun because these do pop out every once in a while, the clips. So we're just gonna hot glue the edges here. Guys, I have a lot of ideas for projects, so starting in the beginning of next month, probably right away, maybe even a little before, we're gonna go over some of the stuff. And it's only possible because of you guys, so I thank you. So yeah, any donations or purchases from our website on any of this stuff, and all the affiliate link sales go straight to the channel. And it's only possible because of your support, so we thank you very much. If you're struggling with anything, I can definitely recommend staying busy, especially if you're in recovery of any kind, whether it's drug, porn, or alcohol, or depression even. Like depression and anxiety, find something you like to do and just go with it. I've been sober for a while now, but one of the things I realized is that I love tinkering and doing projects, so that's what I gravitated towards. Plus it keeps your mind off of all the stuff you don't want to be doing. So we're just gonna glue this, glue that. The good thing with hot glue is everything just pops off. You can just peel it right off, so it's fine. I think that's set up exactly how I want it. Alright, let's disconnect this. I'm excited. We're gonna whip this thing so high, squirrels will think they saw Jesus. Oh. Okay, so alright, let's get back into the... I want to build a cannon of some cannon to launch this thing. I think that might be my next project, is how to get this thing the highest in a tree. Alright, so are these magnetic? Holy crap, I found one. Alright, so we're going to use 2.5 by 2, or I'm sorry, 2 millimeter, sorry, 2.5 by 2 to screw these into these standoffs. Alright, so we're going to screw this in. And this mounts up here, so what we can do is actually stick that right down there. I'm going to undo this quick. So I'm just moving this around, the edge around, so I can use it or mount it to the back side of the plate. I think it's going to be the best. I completely forgot about GPS, and I think it'd be a really good idea to have it on this, especially when you're mobile, or if you go mobile. Alright, this one. This one. And then we'll take a little sticky. Oh, this does have a sticky on it. I thought I tore that off already, but... Okay, so yeah, the switch. We're going to solder. We're going to tin these. And let me get my trusty helping hands. This thing is a game changer, guys. I have the affiliate link in the description for soldering. It's so much easier. Before, I was trying to balance the wires on everything. It didn't work well at all. So I'm just going to do a little bit of tinning on this, not a whole lot, because I need those wires to be flexible. Same with this one. So I'm going to switch power. Some people switch ground, but I think power is the way I'm gonna do it. I don't know what the book says about it, but you guys can switch whatever you want. All right. So I'm gonna grab some red wire. I think this is 22. And I'm gonna cut that in half because we're gonna run 2 reds from the switch. All right, so we're gonna strip these. A good amount on the outside. So you can wrap it around easier. Oh, this must be 18 gauge wire. I can't keep all the wire I buy straight. So same thing with this. We're going to tin these just barely because they need to wrap around the wire. Go like this. And we'll go like this. Grab this. Oh, this one's not quite twisted, but I don't know. I'm not a professional, so if I'm doing something wrong, please tell me. Okay, so we're gonna wrap 2 ends around each other. I can put those heat tubes on at the end. Okay, so let's get that one in. And we should get a good do the back side. It's not the prettiest, but it should be super strong. We'll cut off the end of that. Oh, I'm just going to do the back side just a little more. Looks good, but I don't want to risk it if it's being bouncing around in a tree. So, tug check. Yeah, it's not going anywhere, so let's grab this one. Oh, this one. Oh, what am I doing? Spin this. Oh, we'll pull it apart a little bit. There we go. Get on the back side. yeah, don't be afraid to solder, guys. I'm still trying to teach myself, so just make sure the wires are clean and your soldering iron's hot enough, and then just have at it. That one didn't look as good as the other one. Alright, we're going to cut some of this off, the extra, just so it makes it easier to slide the heat shrink on there. Alright, so, excuse me, cut this in half. Again, everything I use, I'll have affiliate links in the description. And yeah, if you can do me a favor and click them, it's the only way I can get this stuff. So, it should be, there we go. Slide that on. Slide that up a little bit. Slide that down. Oh, it's hanging up. I didn't quite get enough of that. Oh, what's hanging up? Hanging up on this. Oh, let me get a better. There we go. That should be good. Oh, there's still a little. I'll just crush it. A little barb on that. There. Alright, get our little butane lighter or torch. Do the backside. Make sure your torch is on low. You melt the wires. I've done that many, many times. Alright, so I'll be using that shortly. So now that our switch is in there, or wired, we can pop this in. Put a little gasket and snug that down. Alright, so I'd recorded an entire video, but I found out I had to redesign some stuff because it wasn't easy to get all these wires where they needed to be. Alright, so the long one is going to be for the Meshtastic. Okay, so let's put a battery in here. Let's run this main antenna, or the antenna, through here. Then we're going to run these up the wall. Let's see where our solar panel cables are here. So let's do this. Route it like this. So that way our solar panel cables come up the side. And then this can go right here. This, sorry. Solar panel. Switch cables. Our antenna. These go here. Those can go up here. Let's put our other antenna. Oh, I think that'll be good. And then we can route the rest down the side. Make sure we have everything. I got the 2 USBs, I got the switch cables. Let's do these out this way. I need the antenna out here. That is back there. It shouldn't even be back there. Alright, so just route everything. I think that's everything. I hope so. Otherwise, it's not going to be fun. Alright, so we're going to push all that down. And then we can mount that down on the inside. Alright, I got that. Use this M4. I think this is a 8mm, but like I said, the final design has M3s, holes for M3s, so I'm just going to put 2 in. Alright, so that switch, I had to cut those switch wires really short because they're too thick. Or the longer wires of this are too thick and they're too hard to bend around in the case. So that's what I'll just put that back in. And alright, so I got those screwed in. Let me see if we can move this down a little bit. Oh. Okay, so we got all the wires routed up the outside. We got our battery cables right here. And our solar right here. So on this, let's just go ahead and mount this charge controller on here. Oh, I gotta figure out which holes are what. I think it goes this way. Yep, so let's put that back here. I think these use M3. I might have to drill these holes a little bigger. Yep, I'll be right back. Alright, so I got those drilled. I used a 3.2. So let's get these in here. And that uses a alright. That I can't believe I didn't see before. It'll make what's going on? It will make wiring much easier. Alright, so we're gonna run our batteries to here. Let's get that connected. Alright, so our batteries, battery in ground. Oh shoot. Alright, battery and ground. Oh, we're gonna have to strip more of that off. Alright, battery and ground. Tug check. Good. We will run that over here as well. Okay, so we have this powered. That's going to come through here. Those will go up here. These will, that one will go up here. This one will go to the side, probably over here. And USB and the solar. We're going to do our solar next. So we need, these are our solar. So I think we can, I'll just leave them like this for now. You can jam the wires in. This is just a test. You can make it look a lot nicer later. Alright, so our solar goes on the solar ends over here. Oh. Alright, so you can see here that we have power. So then we'll test the solar out next. There we are. Alright, I'm going to use my Olight, one of my favorite flashlights. And let's test the solar panel. And you will see here that it is charging. So my idea is for the panel on the side. Let me zoom out a little bit. With the panel on the side, the solar panel on the side. Hold on. All right. So if you want to hang it on the edge of a grove or just somewhere where you get sunset or sunrise. So when the sun's over here, you get good light, and as it sets, you get good light. So, and if it's spinning in the wind, you always have a panel, so it doesn't have to keep adjusting. The MPT doesn't have to keep trying to adjust in the wind. That's my thought, my reasoning anyway. So, but if you put panels on the top, I think it's primarily panels will be under shade most of the time in the summer anyway. All right, so we have more things to connect to this. We have our USB in, which is what I'm going to use to charge. So our long one is the one that goes to the Meshtastic. This is going to be our USB in. So we need to use this USB, our micro USB adapter. So USB to micro USB, and that plugs in right there. So that will charge your battery pack. All right, well, let's test that out while we can. So I just have a little icon here for power. Let's plug in a USB cord and see how that charges. Yeah, so we got charge on there. That works great. Okay. Now for the interesting part. Okay, so you'll see on this board, let me zoom in. So on this board, you have, what's your output? So how are we going to be powering this? So we have a 5-volt USB out. This says battery in. Every other connection's full, other than jumpers. You can do jumper, that's 5-volt, but it's all 5-volt out. So when I was brainstorming power options with Grok, it said just plug it into the JST port. So my jaw hit the floor, and I was like, why have I not thought of this? Because they share the same rail. So 3.7, 3.7. Your JST is going to be 3.7. So you can just plug a JST connector in it and plug all the Meshtastic stuff. All the Meshtastic stuff you need, just run it from the this second battery in. So for like the wave share, this is 3.7, and this battery is another 3.7, but I was always running it on the 5-volt out and using a buck down converter. So yeah, just wire it to the just wire it to the second battery port, because that's going to be 3.7, and I'll show you. So our battery is, oh, see if you can get a view in there. So this is where our battery is, 3.7, 3.56. So if we run it to this JST, which I don't know why I didn't think of that. It doesn't make sense. No one's ever said I could do that. No one has, I haven't seen it done. Everyone's using buck converters, down converters. So I'm blocking the shade. Or but let me see if I can get a good angle here. I should just plug in a JST. I can't get it from this side. Yeah, we had it there for a minute. 3.56. So yeah, you can just run it from the freaking secondary battery input. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're not doing buck converters anymore. We're just going to run it to that. So let's test this JST. My ground needs to be on the outside, and I have to switch these pins. So I'll show you how to do that. So you see the polarity is wrong. So this connects in here. If I do that, my ground's going to be on the inside instead of the outside. So let's change that quick. Alright, so I got my, so just what I just talked about makes everything a lot easier. I don't know why I didn't think about it, because it's, yeah, anyway. Alright, so for this, I'm going to use this little Phillips tip. I wonder if you can see it. I'll have it focus on my finger. There. So a little tip right there. And you'll see these little tabs. You're just going to wedge it. I like to go from the side and then pull it out. Oh, missed it. So actually it should be good. See? And then do the same thing on the other side. Pop up the little tab. Ugh, I don't have a good way to hold this. Pop up the little tab and pull it out, slide it into the adjacent slot. So, alright, that'll go in here. And that's it. So we'll just swap that around. So this JST is going into here, and that's going to be powering our Rack Mini. So for this, let's mount this on here. We got everything plugged in that we need, so let's mount this on. These are what? Three M3s, I think. Yeah, M3s. So I guess I should make sure the wiring's all squared away. So we're going to round this, and this can come up through here. Oops, I got to get rid of that. Pop that out, and then put this over here. It's a little tight, but alright, so this will be for the Bluetooth. This is for the antenna. This is for I guess I gotta make sure yeah, that's right. Alright, and these are the switch for the battery. So you might want to put a switch in for a switch in for so it's not running all the time. You can just have it charging, but yeah, you could put a little switch so it's not running constantly. Yeah, and that just screws in to the plate below. Okay. So let's get this mounted on top. I have it set up, so I think it goes like this. I'll pull that out a little bit. I'll pull it out a little bit. Alright, so that'll all come from that side. It's a little complicated, but okay, so we'll screw these in, make sure my mount is at the right spot. Alright, so I'm just going to do 2. So, like I said, this holds, you can do the mini, you can do the regular one, and you can do the 5-watt. And it's on standoffs on here, but we're doing the mini because we just want to throw this up there and hopefully it lasts indefinitely. So, depending on how we power it up. So, all right. So our USB is going to be run this way to here, and that's for flashing and everything. It won't charge anything, so you can't charge it from there, but you can have access to data and everything. So people always ask, why don't I plug the solar panel into the automatic solar on here? Because it's not an MPPT charger. The charger is just going to be way more efficient than plugging it into just a standard solar input. So that's LoRa. This is Bluetooth. I want to see where this goes. I'm going to heat up my glue gun because we're going to need that so the stuff doesn't pop out as soon as I put it in. Excuse me. Alright, so we need to power it though. Let's get, this is my switch power. Let's get another JST because we're running that to here. I need to order more JST connectors. So let's strip this out. Strip this out. Oh, these already look pre-tinned, so that's good. I'll just leave it like this. So we're gonna have our output. I'm gonna run that underneath. So from our JST from the robot board, actually, if I can get it underneath. Why can't I just reach it over there? All right. So let's cut this a little bit. I'm gonna get some heat tube. And we're gonna put that on this. Oh, we gotta do the same thing, make sure our JST is on the right side. So ground is gonna be on the outside. ground is on the outside. So let's swap that quick. These JST connector polarities off. Alright, we'll pop that, pull it out. Pull it out. That one's good. Pop this one. Pull it out. Slide it in here. And slide this one in here. There we go. See, once you get the hang of it, it's not hard. So, connects like that. So our polarity's right. Let's wrap this. I already tinned this side, so, or it was already tinned, so don't really have to worry about that. Let's wrap this. Alright, baby, we're nearing the end. This has been a long project with many changes. Helping hands. We need you again. Nearing the end, so let's put this right here. Alright, so let's solder this. And I know some people, they've had to know you can power it through the battery slot. If I'm wrong, someone please tell me, because... Alright, so let's strip this side. Oh, we gotta put the heat shrink down. Let's tighten that up. That's good. Alright, so we're gonna run the power to the other side. Power to the other side. We're gonna strip a little bit of this out. And that is going to our switch. Oh, that's quite long. I'm gonna cut a little bit. Doesn't matter which part of the switch you put it on. So let's put that over here. Let's just take this off for now. It's getting in the way. Getting in the way. Okay, so what did I say? We're running a power to the switch, and the other end's going to the JST. So let's wrap this up in here. Like I said, it doesn't matter what side of what wire of the switch you're using. That's still too long. Don't need it quite as long for skinny wire. But we'll pull that up. Well, see, I already forgot. At least I didn't solder it. I need a heat tube. Shrink tube or whatever. I've soldered it so many times with forgetting to put a tube on there. Oh, it's so frustrating. Okay. Alright, That ain't working. Keeps flexing. Okay. What is happening? I'll do the back side. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we have our power run into the switch. And then we're gonna do tubing on this one. And then we're gonna run the other connection to this. Well, let's see. I'll pull that apart a little bit. Okay. That should be it for the soldering iron. We'll shut that off. Let's get the tube up after we cut some of this stuff off. It's gonna be tight. Oh, it's going. Get the back side. And we'll do this side. Sorry. Do this side, this side, this side. Just make sure. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's screw in the plate into the plate behind it. That way nothing's wagging around. That's kind of why I made it that way. So screw that in there. You can do 4. I'm just going to do 2. So, all right. Let's double check everything. We can hide these wires in here. Tug checks. Tug checks. Good. Good. Hide those down there. That's all good. Let's put this baby on. Oh, I can't. I don't have an antenna on. And everyone, you guys would yell at me. So we're almost done with everything in here. I'm only going to put 2 of these on. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm going to test to make sure our switch works. So I just have a voltometer, and so it must be off now because I'm getting nothing. That's one thing I need to figure out, is how to get a LED light on the bottom of this, or any build that doesn't use a whole lot of power. I think I have stuff on hand, but alright, so we got power. Okay, so the switch works, everything should work. Let's get the antenna on. I'll shut it off, the switch anyway. And I will be right back. Alright, so let's get this, the antennas connected. So let's do, we're gonna have this, the main antenna, the LoRa antenna. I'll pop that on. It's a little twisted, I should have adjusted for that when I rotated it. That's why we need glue. There we go. Alright, so we need to make sure that doesn't pop off. Okay, so I'm going to use hot glue if you guys are down south. It might get a little too hot for that if you're outside. So I'm just going to put this here. And let that dry or cool. And then this Bluetooth antenna. I'll be right back. I'm just going to let this one cool. Alright, we'll put our Bluetooth in here. And there we go. And I'm gonna glue right there. You could use zip ties or whatever. It just peels. The glue just peels off. And I think that's it for the the hot glue. So I'm gonna let that cool and I'll be right back. Alright, we can put this JST power connector in. And we'll just double check our polarities right. So we have ground on left. And solar panels connected there. And that's it. So next is the lid. So I printed this. It's kind of designed, let's see. I'm printing a gasket for it right now. I use 85 TPU. It has some flex. It's a millimeter thick. And we'll just put that in here. And then this will slide on that. And I'll be right back. Alright, last thing we gotta do. So this, I'll have the Amazon link for all these parts, or the affiliate links for all these parts in the description. So we are gonna seal this, the top. That's gonna be right around the edge. Yeah. I don't think I put the top on too well. I'm using E6000. I use Goop, E6000, and the Gorilla Clear stuff. So you can use whatever you want. So we're going to put this in here. So I chose this one. So I didn't want to print a giant lid because it uses a ton of filament. So this one had, I forgot the millimeter length, but perfect enough for it to be strong. And yeah, just that it was the perfect length for this. So I'm gonna put that on here. And I printed an indent. So if you go with the 1 watt on here, there's going to be it raises a little bit. So this takes care of that no matter how you have it oriented. So let me grab a socket, and I'm not sure what size it is, but I think it's this one. Oh, one more. So I'm just tightening this down. Alright, so the other reason I went with this one is because it goes around the hole. So if you use something like this, the water could seep into that gap pretty easy. I just wanted something I could seal that sits on top of it so the water beads off the top. So that's why I went with that one. But you guys, if you end up getting this STL, or I ship you one, or you make your own, that's the reason I did that. So I'm sure many of you are getting ideas on how to do something similar. And definitely keep me updated because I get ideas from you guys. So actually, this whole build was an idea from a member wanted a solar node, and that immediately got me thinking about what I could do. All right, so we're going to be, these are 4mm. The final design has 3mm. I think that's the best of both without having to get too thick on it. So I need to drill these out for 4mm. But like I said, the final design is going to be 3mm. It's just going to be the strongest option. So I'm going to drill these out right here. Oh, actually, I need to use a 3.2. Oh, no. 4 should be good. 4mm. Yeah, what am I thinking? All right, so 4mm. It's all smoothed out. Like I said, I like making my holes smaller on parts and then just drilling them out because it's a lot more accurate. So, all right, let's see. And it will take a little snug, or a little force. Don't break the lip though, but it will fit on the edge. I'm just getting rid of some wires. We gotta get these out of the way. What the heck? All right, that's out of the way. Okay. And the leg on here. There we go. There. So I think we do need the 1mm or the 2mm gasket on there because I'm just charging it for that. So the 2mm gasket, because it's already flush, so I need to make it get the bigger gasket on there. All right. It's gonna look pretty cool. I'm excited. It's almost done printing. Printing TPU 85 goes about as well as you would think printing rubber prints. I use it on my 3B3 SE. It's kind of a mess, but it does pretty well. Alright, I'll be back as soon as that's done. Alright, I got my 1.5 millimeter high gasket printed. I think that's going to be the sweet spot for waterproofing this. Like I said, if it's going to be a year-round, I would just put a line of goop on the inside too. But that's the way the MacGyver it. Alright, let's put that. Alright, let's see. Let's put this in. Oh, there we go. Alright, screw this in. Screw this in. Alright, test one. Just making sure my microphone isn't dead. Because we are almost done. Okay. We get these tightened down and then make sure we have good compression and not too big of a gap on the outside. I think it'll be perfect actually. So perfect timing because the wife and kids just got home. Alright, we'll tighten these, double check the gap. Very minuscule gap, probably like 1/10 of a millimeter, maybe. Alright, yeah, 1.5. That was the sweet spot. Alright, let's pop some antennas on here. We need I plan on using the Alpha 915. We'll shut these. I have all kinds of Bluetooth antennas, but for this one I was going to use this longer one just to see what kind of range I get on that. Alright, then we get to go do the fun part. So I bought this Arbor's throw line kit. I don't think you need to. I was curious to see what kind of, the only reason I bought it, I mean, I can just tie a 550 cord around a rock and throw it up, but I wanted to see what kind of rope this was, or string. So I got the heaviest line. I was curious. So I got the heaviest weight, I mean. So affiliate link is in the description. And I want to go see how it works. Alright. So we'll just, yeah, it's a smoother, actually, I think it'll work great. So, alright, let's tie this up. And yeah. Alright. That's it. So you can do a 550 cord around each base and then tie a ring on here if you want to stabilize it so it doesn't knock the antennas down. And I'll go set that up. Alright, I'm outside. I got this thing whipped up into a tree and I'm going to show you guys how I plan on mounting this or tying it down. So alright, so I got it up into that tree and it's down the other lines over there. So this is what I added. So I just use a carabiner, and some 550 cord, tied up there, through one line over the tree and this line right here. So I'm going to show you. I got these ground stakes for a different project, but these actually work really well, and I'm going to show you how we're going to put those in. So these anchors come with a tool. You can screw it in by hand, and it comes with this adapter to put on your impact drill. So they screw in by hand real easy. I did 4 of them for my solar panels, but I'm going to string this up. So it's going to go straight up there, and it does get sun in the afternoon and at the evening, so the sun will be back there. So all right, let's string it up, and we want to get as close to underneath it as we can, directly underneath. So let me try that. All right, so I have one. I'm holding this up here, and this seems to be directly, whoops, I can't hold all this stuff at once, but all right, so this is directly underneath it. I'm just going to drop that right there, and then we're going to put one of these anchors in right here, and we'll just put it right down in here. Oops. All right, let's get it started. Put this anchor. Make sure I don't get that wrapped around that. And then we put the top on, and you cannot pull this out. It works really well. So there's no way you can pull that out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set another one of these up over there. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna set another one of them up probably about over here, so it's about right here. Sorry, your yard's a little overgrown. And we're going to put the top on. And this would be perfect for camping. I'm going to grab the end of this, untie it. I just put I don't know what specific knot you call it, but I did a breakaway knot. Whatever you call it. I'm going to loop that end through here, and then we're going to bring it over here to our main node back here. All right, so what we're going to do is lift this up. All right, it's hard to do this with one hand. It threw really well. Be sure you wear gloves because it burnt through my fingers. It has like a waxy substance along the line, probably just plastic, but it worked really well. So, all right, so then this end, we're gonna connect that. I'm gonna tie a knot quick. All right, so I got this tied. I did a little knot back down the bottom. We're just gonna put that stick through the loop. So when we want to undo it, we just pull the stick. All right, so we got all this extra cord. We're just gonna wrap that up. All right, so I have this finished. So let's just go over. I wrap the remaining cord around here, and then put the stick through the loop so it doesn't come undone. I have this set up so if you pull the stick out, this will just unravel, and the solar node up there, canopy comm node, is going to fall. And then you just unravel this, and I have that. Well, first I had this ground anchor down here, and a ground anchor over here, and that goes up across that. So when I pull that stick, that's going to fall. The line's going to come down through here, and then we just take everything apart. So it works really well. The ground anchors work really well. So you can use this camping or wherever. It's going to get a lot of, they're very strong. I have them on those solar panels back there. They blew over in some, I don't know, 70 mile an hour winds the other day. So I have ground anchors on 4 corners, and I'll show you real quick. We have ground anchors on each corner. Like, there's no way you can pull that out. So, and they're really easy to screw in. You can use the hand twist drilling part of it. It's easy as long as your ground isn't dead dry. It'll be easy. But yeah, you might have to tighten it. I think we might have to tighten that. The more depending on the branches and the wind moving it around and stuff. But yeah, I think it works really well. Alright, so when I brought that node out here, we were at 38%, and I will take a screenshot and I'll insert that into this video. We were at 38%, and now we're at 43%, so it is charging just fine. I set the GPS. I didn't put it in power saving mode. I set the GPS to transmit every hour. Yeah, so if you go throw this up at a campground, which we are going to be doing, I think most campgrounds have trees, but you can throw this up in a campground, keep track of your family. If you're out hunting or wargaming, or if crap hits the fan, you can throw one of these up, keep track of your team. But yeah, that's really cool. I appreciate all of you. I think this was made, one of my viewers or subscribers mentioned that I should create a solar node. So I looked around for a panel that I thought would be basically what I wanted it, and I saw this 6-volt 2-watt flexible panel that we can drop. I'm actually just gonna pull this right now so we can show the viewers what this looks like. I'm popping the stick. Alright, so I pulled the stick out. Let's flip this. So I pulled the stick out, and that's gonna drop right here. So yeah, this is Project Canopy Comms. We got 2 charging ports. Just as a review, we got our waterproof button or switch, power switch. We got GPS antenna, or not GPS. We have our Bluetooth LoRa antenna. 2 one's for power charging, and then the other's to update it. So I'm really happy with it. It turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to, actually. So this is our 6-volt 2-watt solar panel, and yeah, just kind of MacGyvered the rest of it. So all right, guys, so where are we? Oh, there it is. If you guys like this video, I keep losing it. Okay, there we are. If you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share. If you can, do me a favor. If you want to build this, click the affiliate links in the description. And my wife and I also decided to start comeonmacgyver.com, where if you wanted me to print some of these for you, I can do that too, and then you can just build it yourself. Also, if you guys have a printer yourself, you can use, I'll have the STL files available on there as well. But yeah, I think that excuse me, I think that pretty much covers it. I'm gonna come out with a different one, just a slightly different case for this, so you can use regular solar panels too, just small rectangle ones. But I appreciate you. No matter what happens, God wins in the end, and that keeps me going every day, so appreciate it. Alright, so I just want to show you guys how we have this. So I said we had the main line going up over the tree. It drops down there where we installed the ground anchor, and then we took the bag off, ran that through here, this ground anchor, and on this carabiner clip. So then we just pull the extra, and then you can raise it up into the tree, however high you can get it. So that's way up there. I don't know if you can see that, but and then what we do with that is we're just going to tie this knot here. There's that stick. We're going to put a stick here, so it's easy to take out when we're done with it. Tighten that, and then you can tie the main line down kind of the same way. Alright, so then when you're ready to go, pull the stick, and she'll fall to the ground. And there it is. Whoop!